John, if you can do me a favor and come over here.
Okay.
I want you to lay down on this bed right here. Lay on your back if you would. I want you to use your pillow that we've decided was the best pillow for you.
Yep.
Go ahead and lay down on the bed.
Okay.
Now, it's important that we get the customer on their back while we're finding the correct settings. If they're on their side or their stomach, it's going to be harder for them to find the setting. It's easier to find it on the back, and it's going to be the exact same setting as far as firmness on their side or stomach. Now, how does that feel to you?
It feels a little firm.
It feels good, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The first thing we do is we pitch the Tempur Pedic material. Why? Because nobody else has it. There are other air beds out there. There are other foam beds out there, but there's only one bed that has real Tempur material. And you should know at this point, there's nothing like it. Nothing absorbs pressure, that absorbs weight, that conforms to your body like Tempur material. So the first thing I want to pitch him is the material. John, what you're laying on is true Tempur material. There are foam beds out there, but there's only one Tempur-Pedic. And what you notice, even though it's pretty firm, it's conforming to the shape of your body.
Yeah.
Reducing pressure kind of lets your body settle in and makes a mold of it, and then that way you're in perfect spinal alignment. Now that we've established that, let's talk about the difference between this and maybe our largest competitor in this market segment. Now, John, you told me you were thinking about buying another, or looking at another bed, another air bed. You know what? I think that's a great idea. As a matter of fact, our biggest competitor, they are a great company. They've been around for a long time, almost as long as us. And they are the 7th largest mattress manufacturer in the United States. This bed is made by the largest mattress manufacturer in the world.
Wow.
And what's different about it is this bed has 3 different chambers, whereas our competitor has just 1 chamber. What I'm going to be able to do is to adjust it perfectly for your lumbar and then put your head and your feet in proper spinal alignment. Now I've got it set up to the firmest. Always start at the firmest. There is a button here for medium. Ignore that button. It shouldn't be there. We want to always start at the firmness so that way he gets the full range of experience. And we should be telling him what he feels. We call that narrating the experience. Just like when you go into a fine wine shop, they don't just hand you a glass of wine and say, how does that taste? They tell you what you should be smelling and what you should be tasting. We should know this bed enough that we can narrate the experience for him. Now I've got you set to the firmest right now. I'm going to lower just the lumbar section, and I'm going to actually make it too soft.
Okay.
Stop me when you feel like it's uncomfortable, you've lost support.
All right.
We're going to go too low on purpose. One of the reasons it's easier to find the correct setting on the way up than it is on the way down. On the way down, he might stop me and say, that's good, no, that's better, no, go back up. When we go too soft, when we come back up, he'll feel the proper support. You feel that adjusting to you?
Yeah.
That chamber's changing the support that you're getting. Now, you're still getting the same pressure relief, but here we're changing your spinal alignment. So we have both pressure relief and spinal alignment available in this bed. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, I see like you're getting in a little bit of a hammock. You feel that?
Yeah. I'm starting to feel like.
Yeah, if your middle is sunk in more than your head and your feet. And we wanted that because it's easier to find it on the way up. Now I'm going to stop it here. Now, regardless of what he tells me, I'm going to stop it where I want to, because some people will stop you too early. So I'm going to wait until I see that he's not in proper spinal alignment. Now, John, I'm going to bring this up, and you're going to know support when you feel it. It's going to rise up and support the small of your back, kind of like a basketball filling in that space. You'll know it when you feel it. Tell me when you feel that support. Now, wait. It's so important in this process to be patient. It doesn't take as long as it feels,
Right.
but we're there. Now he feels that support. Now, John, with some other beds with this kind of technology, we can get your back in proper alignment, but your head and feet might be higher because you're going to displace the air where you weigh the most. And even thin people like you weigh the most in the middle. That's where all of our good stuff is. What we're going to do now is we have a whole separate control. You see that right there? It says head and feet. I have 2 different chambers. Now, the lumbar chamber is the biggest one, but I have another chamber for your head, one for your feet. No other mattress has that. And I'm going to be able to bring them to proper spinal alignment. What I do is I just bring it down to the same setting as I had his lumbar. If it's not perfect, that's not an issue, because you can always tweak it. That's the wonderful thing about this bed. When people return beds, why do they return them? Because they're too hard, too soft, too this, too that. This is a bed that seldom gets returned, because if it's too soft, make it firmer. If it's too firm, make it softer. If I didn't get the correct setting, they can go home and tweak it. Now we've got you set up to where you look to me like you're in proper spinal alignment. How does that feel to you?
Feels good.
Now you told me you're a side sleeper.
Yeah.
At this point, I want you to go ahead and roll to your side and see how that feels.
Perfect.
You look comfortable.
Yeah.
And not only do you feel comfortable because of the true Tempur material, but John, I could draw a straight line from your ankles all the way up to your head, meaning that we have you in pretty good spinal alignment. And if I'm wrong, when you go home, you can change it. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
You told me that you were picking on a bed for you and your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the cool thing. We can get you set up for this bed today, and you know she's going to be comfortable because she can customize her side just like we customize your side. And when we get it delivered to you tonight, she can come in tomorrow or the next day, and I'll help find her correct setting. Now, the settings here are in bars, and I'm going to write down on your receipt the number of bars that we find for you. And that'll be a good starting point for you.
Okay.
How does that feel?
Sounds good.
Now, we're wanting this in queen?
King size.
King size. Okay, let me show you the adjustable option. We've got a great base that'll let you sleep even more comfortable.
Cool.
Now, the majority, almost half of the beds sold by our largest competitor in this market segment go out in an adjustable base. Why? In for a penny, in for a pound. They're already buying something different. They're already spending maybe more money than they would for a conventional innerspring. So they might as well go for the whole package. So adjustable bases are an integral part to this, just like any Tempur Pedic sale, but on this one, you'll find that you'll sell more of them. In our next segment, we're going to be talking about objections, how to overcome them, and more importantly, how to understand them. Thank you.